What's up, friends? My name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. Welcome to Monday Night Giveaways. 4 of them at around 11 o'clock or so. This is also a Q&A live stream, and if we get some time, we're going to be swapping out the... installing an ESC on this Rip Squeak that is not the Rip Squeak that you guys were just watching. What you were just watching is the lighter weight one that I think is going to go and become a 2.5-inch setup for life. I think I'm going to snag the 2.5-inch, 2.5 millimeter arms for this little guy because I'm pretty impressed by it. So this is the so like my Rip Squeak or whatever is basically 20 by 20 stack with a run cam hybrid on board, and it's the Rip Squeak V1 frame. Reasoning behind the V1 frame is that the top plate, see if I can catch the reflection of the softbox there. See how wide that opening is in the top plate there? That width opening is like the perfect size for the top of the run cam hybrid. So you can build this out with 28 millimeter standoffs instead of 30 millimeter standoffs because of how big that top plate cutout is. This one, I've downsized the motors on. Previously, I'd been doing all motors bigger than 1404. 1504s, 1306s, 1505s. This guy, though, I dove back into 1404s because there's been a lot of them made over the last couple of years. And man, am I glad that I did, because you can get 1404s in higher KVs than those bigger motors. You know, basically when you get north of 1404, none of the motors are more than 4,000 kV, and 4,000 kV is not quite enough for a low pitch 3-inch prop or a 2.5-inch prop. In the never-ending quest for a 3-inch freestyle rig that has the same sort of flight dynamics as a 5-inch freestyle rig, I've turned to a smaller propeller. The propellers, even when you're at 0 throttle, are a parachute. They're always moving air around. Whether you're right side up or upside down, they're always sending out a column of air. And that column of air acts like a parachute. So with a smaller propeller, you get more horizontal throw, and you get a little bit less float when you're coming down off of the throttle. And yeah, I'm finding that the 2.5-inch props with a slightly lighter than 250 gram setup like this is roughly like 220, depends on what battery. Yeah, the 2.5-inch props seem to be the sweet spot for that. The other Rip Squeaks are all right at 250 grams, and that if there was like a 2.75 inch prop, I mean, actually there's a 2.8 inch prop made by King Kong from way long ago. But yeah, it's in a little bit of a, yeah, I don't know. But I've been having a blast playing around with these higher KV 1404s on 2.5-inch props. The battery that you just saw was on 2540s, the GemFan 2540 propellers. I also ran this on my favorite 2.5, arguably my favorite micro prop of all, which is the Emax Avan 2.5-inch. I think it's called the Rush, Emax Avan Rush, I think it is their name for it. But it's the Emax Avan tri-blade 2.5-inch prop. And unfortunately, it doesn't have quite enough pitch. It's a fairly low pitch. I think it's like 2.4 pitch or 24 pitch, whereas these GemFans here are a 40 pitch. And yeah, those Emax props are they just don't make quite enough power for me. I'm a guy that doesn't like a lot of power though, so I doubt that it'll make enough power for you either. But these GemFan 2540s are awesome on these Axis 1404 45-ish 100 kV motors on 4S. That battery that you just watched was a 4S 650. It's also great on the newer GNB 4S 700. So yeah, that's what you were watching at the intro. I'm really kind of falling in love with the way this thing flies. The 3-inch RipSqueaks are great too, but out in front of the house here, I'm trying to keep it as light and quiet as possible. So this might be the out front of the house flyer, and then the rest of the 3-inch rigs, 3-inch RipSqueaks, are what come to big fancy locations with me. So yeah, that's what I've been kind of futzing around with lately. In the chat, Riot9 was first, Great Southern FPV, and RC was next. Alec Dvorak, Michael D, Juju, 16-bit, Sleepy CBR, Timbo Slice, Jordan J, Aircon, Justin the Guy, Joseph Dahari, Dusty Joe. I was doing so good. Now all of a sudden my mouth is revolting. Dusty Joe again, B-Man, A-Cable, Kevin Webb, Aber the Ham, Caveman, PJ Charles, Marseille, Garter, Rotor 413, Kiz Bartlett, Paul McDonald, B-Man, Fly High FPV is here, DTFPVs, Kevin Sumner is here as well, Denzel the Terrible. That's your first big page of people. If you want the Gangly Man to read your name, you got to come into the chat early. You got to say hello. If this is a Q&A stream, ask any questions that you would like. If you would like me to see your question, though, you've got to type CiottiFPV. When you type CiottiFPV, it will light up in orange. Or if you want to support the madness that is trying to do FPV full time, you can do a super chat. I would rather you just tag me and then come on over to CiottiFPV.com and do something over there. My favorite thing for you to do to support me is to jump onto my Patreon. It's $3 whole a month. That's 10 cents a day. You can do it. Make the gangly gangles dreams come true. I want to keep doing this, but I need help from everybody. Click thumbs up, say something, leave a comment if you're not watching this live. Everything helps. But if you have a couple of cents a day, the Patreon is going to give you a bunch of stuff back to you. You're going to get full Discord access. You're going to get a playlist with like almost 90 or 90 plus unlisted videos here on YouTube. One of those videos, if you saw my Florida edit from Saturday, the most recent video on there is 10 extra minutes of footage from that. Where I just kind of played around with some stuff. I turned my color correction off and on, so you can see the difference it makes. I have a full battery in there with stabilization full screen, and then a picture-in-picture without the stabilization, so you can really take a look at what Real Steady is up to, and just a bunch more fun stuff. So yeah, that's kind of the best way to support me, to be honest, is to hop onto Patreon. You're going to get access to a couple of different Facebook groups that are private to only patrons. You're going to get, like, on the Patreon page itself, there's all these technical articles, how to PID tune, how to troubleshoot electrical issues, video noise issues, all kinds of good stuff. It's well worth $3 whole. The past couple of live streams, we've had like a new patron on each one of those live streams. Who's it going to be tonight? Who's going to join the Patreon? Don't break the streak. Don't let tonight break the streak. Someone join if you want. If you want to join my Patreon, I would love to have you on there. Past couple of folks that have joined, Bozadar joined yesterday. Welcome to the collective, Bozadar. And then Daniel Giuliano joined during the previous stream, which I guess was Friday. What's today, Monday? Welcome to Collective Friends. Who's it going to be tonight? Is that pushy enough? Did I push you guys enough? I don't know. I don't know what it means to be a good YouTuber. I just work here. In the chat, the folks that have tagged me, Michael D says, hello, CiottiFPV and Collective. Justin says, hola, CiottiFPV and everyone. Hope your Monday is going well. Mine's going a lot better now that I'm hanging out with you, beautiful bastards. B-Man says, fam was good. A-Cable says, hello, Ciotti and Collective. PJ says, AO Collective and CiottiFPV. I'm just going to call you DT. DT says, first time in a while I tuned in and he's late, JK. Yeah, Stream Deck refused to connect because, I don't know. Being a live streamer is a real case study in like how many things can break for no reason over and over again at complete random. It's really kind of amazing. Like, tonight, I will stop streaming. I will click the end stream button. And Wednesday night at 8 o'clock, something won't work. Wait, is it 6 o'clock? 6 o'clock on Wednesdays. I've changed it. At 6 o'clock on Wednesday, something won't work. Whether or not I've done anything on the computer since then doesn't matter. Shit just breaks. It's really remarkable. And it's not just me. This is not me asking for advice. Watch that unsolicited advice. When someone wants advice, they'll ask for it. Don't just be throwing that advice out there. It can be a little insulting to some people. Not me, but some people. Just read the room. Read the room. Yeah, it's wild. Every single streamer I've ever talked to is like, yeah, isn't it insane? I'm like, why? Why is this our... It's, whatever. Denzel the Terrible says, word to your moms. Great Southern says, what's up, Collective? How's it hanging, everyone? Short shriveled and to the left. What movie? Bob Noxious says, what's up, Collective? And CiottiFPV. Sending some love Bob Noxious's way. Double A says, how you doing, buddy? I'm good, my man. Hart FPV says, what's up? Haven't watched the stream in a while. Glad to catch this on. Glad to have you back, Hart. I haven't seen you in a while. Layman Board says, what's up? Oh, scrolling down a little bit. Nacho FPV says 1404 good for 2.5-inch Cinewhoops. Depends on the payload. If it's a 2.5-inch Cinewhoop carrying something lightweight like an Insta360 Go 2 or a naked GoPro, potentially it's a good motor. It also kind of depends on the build. If it's a really heavy build, you'll probably want a bigger motor than that. But if it's a lightweight build, if it's let's say this, if you can get it to be sub 250 with the battery, with the GoPro all up, then 1404 is going to be about right, just about right. I have a live stream or two. If you go into my uploads, and there's a little search function in there, which will just search my uploads. Search for 1404. I've compared like 20 different, probably not that many, probably like a dozen different 1404s in the past, and gone over the weights, how notchy they are, which is going to be a really big deal for a Cinewhoop. Depending on what camera you're carrying, if you're carrying a GoPro, GoPros are really good at not showing jello. If you're carrying anything other than a GoPro, though, that's something you have to really be careful of because every other HD camera has a really hard time with jello. So yeah, look that up and you can see a whole bunch of 1404 motors and you can pick your favorite. My two favorites are the T-motor and the Axis Power. The T-motor is a little bit less notchy, so for a cinematic rig, I would actually lean towards the T-motor rather than the Axis. I chose the Axis for this freestyle build because their motors seem to be some of, if not the most durable, although I don't know about that when it comes to their bigger motors. I'm still trying to figure that out. Their bigger motors, their 2306s, 2207s, they have this weird design where in the bottom of the bell, they've put a lip in there, and then on the stator, there's a little valley for the lip to kind of ride in. And what they say is that it makes the motor more durable. I don't really know about that. It's one more thing to rub when you've bent the bell a little bit. Maybe it prevents the bell from bending. I don't know though. I don't know. I would like to think that that's what it does, but I've broken two of them. It's so hard to tell durability with motors. Realistically, I have to break half a dozen of them before I really get a good feel for it. I have a fresh set that's on the rig that I beat the most. and I'm going to be paying really close attention to how long they last and how hard the collisions are that they're willing to put up with or not willing to put up with. So, yeah, in theory, it's a really cool idea, but what I have found so far is that the lip will start rubbing before the bell is bent enough to where I would normally retire that bell. But if during crashes that lip is giving it a bunch more durability, then that kind of doesn't matter, because and in that case it's actually a really good thing because it's preventing the bell from bending. Typical motors that don't have this setup, which is just every other motor, you can bend the motor shaft a little bit from a really hard slam, and the motor will keep going and it won't vibrate hard enough to really wreck your tune. You can usually slam it really hard again, and to the point where you can pretty much visually see it wobbling a little bit if you look really close, and you'll still be okay. And then usually the third or fourth really hard hit will kill them. This is if you're on a titanium motor shaft motor. If you're on a stainless steel eco motor, that is not the case. You hit it really hard once or twice and it's just done. This is one of the things I love about the titanium motor shaft motors, is that they're much more durable. They're more, in my past, they've been more than twice as durable, and they don't cost twice as much. So it's been cheaper for me to run 5-inch freestyle rigs on the more expensive motors because of how much stronger the motor shaft is. Don't you dare say, yeah, but titanium's more brittle and it'll break. If you hit a motor hard enough to break the motor shaft, nothing's surviving that. So that doesn't really matter. We're talking about collisions that would bend, not break the shaft. So yeah, there you go. There's some motor info that you didn't ask for. YouTube just did the thing, scrolling back up to try to find my place. Hold on a second. Where are we at here? There we go. Great Southern said, nope, we got that. Double A saying hello. What's up, brother? Hard FPV says, what's up? Haven't watched the stream in a while. Nope, I'm now repeating. Demo FPV says, hey, CiottiFPV and Collective. White Fox says, hey, bud. Kevin Sumner dropping the link to CiottiFPV.com. Thank you so much, Kevin. Hey, also over on my website, not just the Patreon link, but there's a link to Etsy, Teespring, and Fiverr. Fiverr, I'm going to work directly with you one-on-one, how to build a better rig, how to pick the right parts, how to tune, learning to tune, and flight instruction if you want to hop in the simulator and I can help you fly a little bit better. And then there's a bunch of affiliate links. Next time you're ordering stuff online, think about your creator friends. We need help. It doesn't cost you anything to click our affiliate link before you check out, and we get money for it, and it allows us to keep making the content that you like to watch. So yeah, think about your affiliate buddies when you're ordering stuff online. I know you're ordering shit on Amazon, and we all have Amazon affiliate links. So yeah, if you have to change your Amazon link to one of our affiliate links, then you don't have to think about it anymore. Or yeah, whatever. So help us out. It doesn't cost you anything, and we get 1 to 6% of your order. Amazon is 1%. Some of these other spots, like FPV Cycle, is actually 6%. FPV Cycle, Oh My God's website, Get FPV, Amazon, Camera Butter, and a bunch of others. They're all on the website. Michael D says, friendly reminder, hit that like button. Thank you, Michael D. Jason Crabtree says, what ESC would you put in a Rip Squeak? I have an Acon 32 pin in mine now, but wondering if there's something lighter would be the Acon to my glide. Yeah, the Acon ESCs are all meant for 5-inch rigs. Putting those into a micro doesn't make a whole lot of sense unless you just want the micro to never break ever. But the problem with it is those ESCs are kind of like needlessly heavy. So like, yes, it would be durable as hell, but you're adding like 2 or 3 or 4 grams to that rig for really no benefit. The lighter weight, cheaper ESCs are a much better fit for the micros. My personal favorite at the moment is the T-Motor. It's like an amber in color. It's called the 30 amp cinematic, I believe it is. It's on Joshua's website. It's the ESC that I put into his 250 gram or less section. Other than that T-Motor, I don't... It's just like they all... None of them are all that great. That T-motor is expensive because it's better. Everybody makes one. Mamba, iFlight, everybody. All these manufacturers make a cheaper, lightweight 20 by 20, like 25 amp or 30 amp ESC. And they're all kind of okay. I haven't found one that's like a real standout yet. They all just sort of eventually will start dropping an arm and die from collisions. And that's how it was with 5-inch ESCs for many, many, many years. Acon was sort of the first to put out a 5-inch ESC that was just bomb-proof. Most people consider the Hobbywing ESCs to be bomb-proof. I've broken 5 of them, so they are really not bomb-proof in my opinion. And most of the people that I hear talking about Hobbywing ESCs being bomb-proof are Hobbywing sponsored pilots that are getting them for free or for cost. So yeah, I never recommend Hobbywing. Acon is now making T-Motors, expensive line of ESCs, and they're also bomb-proof. Go figure. They're made by the company that has been making bomb-proof ESCs for a few years now. So yeah, unfortunately with micros, they just have not benefited from the R&D cycle that 5-inch rigs have, and our electronics for the micros are just not quite there yet. They're way better than they were, but they're not nearly as good as 5-inch rigs. So nowadays, like if you're doing an order on a store and they have a lightweight, cheap 20 by 20, 25 amp, 20 amp, 30 amp ESC in stock, snag it as your extra. When the one that you've got blows up, you swap that in. Or spend the extra money on the T-motor. The T-motor is kind of hard to find in stock, though, which is the reality that we now live in, unfortunately. But there you go. Moving that Acon into your Glide is a great idea, Jason. That thing will last forever in there. David Sam, I'm not going to ruin your last name, says, in the Joshua Bardwell stream, you answered my question, said the new T-motor 1604 motors for 3.5 inches not high enough KV at 3800 4S. Why would T-motor choose this KV? For the same reason that every single other manufacturer are choosing too low of KVs. They just don't have pilots on staff that are paying attention, that are flying. I mean, a lot of these companies don't have pilots on staff, full stop. They put a product out, they wait for people to bitch and moan about it or praise it, and then they make a change. Sometimes they make the change without even saying anything or changing the nomenclature on the motor, which is just infuriating. But yeah, the motor manufacturers for micromotors, they just don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're putting out. They're going by like what everybody else is doing, and then we don't get much change, and it kind of sucks. The other big reason is that, and a really good example of how clueless they are, is that once 6S became like, locked in for 5-inch freestyle rigs, all the manufacturers are like, oh my God, let's do 6S on micros too, which is a terrible idea. The only reason that we went from 4S to 6S on 5-inch freestyle rigs is that we went to bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger motors that were drawing more amps, and the amp pull on the battery got so much that the system started to get the power system was getting so hot that we started to get significant losses from the heat. In an electrical system, heat is the loss. And going up to 6S with the higher voltage helped out with that. This is why 6S run times are so much stronger. If you want an example of this, look at long-range guys. Long-range guys aren't nearly as obsessed with 6S because they just kind of cruise around in like the low mid throttle region. And that's where 4S performs totally fine. Micros are very similar in that we never pull 100 plus amps like a 5-inch freestyle rig will. And the other thing I wanted to mention is like 5-inch pilots who use full throttle like a lot, like those of us that stab full throttle quite a bit, we benefit the most from 6S, and our run times went from like 3 minutes to 5 minutes. It's wild. Steel is another good example of this. So yeah, just sort of showing you the difference between 4S and 6S. With micros, they're never, obviously, right? The motors are tiny. We're comparing like 2207, 2306 to 1404s, to 1504s, to 1505s. Christ, even like 2004, the stator volume like doesn't hold a candle to a 2306, 2207. So there's no reason to go to 6S, and it's actually kind of bad to go to 6S because 6S is really hard on the ESC, especially the tiny little ESCs that don't have many capacitors on them. So yeah, the whole industry unfortunately has, and them doing the 6S thing with micros is also a really good example of like the hype train that you got to really be careful of, right? Like just because there's a bunch of new products coming out with like, oh God, look at this new advancement, doesn't mean that it makes any sense. And all the folks that unfortunately went to 6S on micros are having a really hard time with ESCs blowing up, electrical noise. The electrical noise also goes crazy when the voltage goes up. So yeah. We're seeing these micromotors like with these lower and lower and lower kVs, and it's just awful because building a 6S micro is just a nightmare. You're just gonna have to deal with way more problems than you need to. Micros should be 3S and 4S. That's really all that they need. But yeah, it's super frustrating for those of us that understand this, and like a new motor will come out that's like a really good size and it's not notchy and there's all these great things about it, and then they don't offer a kV that's high enough, and it's like, you know, I'm not going to go up to 5S or 6S and create all these other problems. Like that's insane. So yeah, I don't know, it's super annoying, but it's the world that we live in. Unfortunately, the motor manufacturers need to get their heads out of their asses and start listening to the people that actually fly and the people that are actually, you know, building these things to fly properly rather than just money grabbing, you know, and just trying to cater to what sells. But hey, what's new? Welcome to capitalism, yo. Kevin Sumner says liar, liar, properly quoting the movie to which the quote "short and shriveled to the left" is from. Isaac Mitchell says popped into the Patreon. There it is. Thank you, Isaac. Isaac is our new patron for the night. Seriously, thank you, brother. It makes a big difference. Blizzard, and you're gonna love mine. I mean, you're gonna love my Patreon, not my nuts. BlizzardFPV with a $2 Canadian super chat. He says these motors are crap. CiottiFPV 2022. Thank you, Blizzard. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Fly High says 100% always grab your titanium shaft. Bob Noxious with a $20 super chat. Thank you, brother. Holy crap. Thank you. He says, appreciate your love, brother. Here's some love right back at you. Put your fund into the triple digits. There we go. We've got the Hero 11 mini fund. It's so expensive because YouTube/Google takes 30-something%. But B, I've got to buy two of the damn things because I'm going to replace both my Hero 8 and my Hero 10. It's just stupid to have two different GoPros that are a different frame because I've got to have like I have one Cinewoop with the Hero 8 mount on it. I've got another Cinewoop with the Hero 10 mount on it. It's just dumb. It's just really silly to have two different GoPros. So as soon as that the 11 mini comes out, I will be promptly putting both of these heroes onto the freestyle rigs, and they'll probably only last one or two batteries before they've exploded. That's the typical amount of time that I've gotten out of heroes in the past. I fly Session 5s exclusively just because of how durable they are. The hero, yeah, I went through 6 Hero 8s. No, I went through 6 Hero 7s, and I went through 2, maybe 3 Hero 8s, and none of them lasted more than 2 days of flying. Most of them broke on the first or second battery. The heroes are just really fragile. I mean, they're not fragile, that's not the right word, but I crash often and hard, so for me, they're fragile. I heard the noise, but I didn't see the thing pop up, but we're getting caught up on chat, so we will get there. Fat Pastor says, I got my HD Zero VRx to work off of a $10.60 HDMI splitter off Amazon, runs my goggles and TV with no notice latency. That is pretty cool, Fat Pastor. Damn, that's really, really cool. I'm going to be playing around with HD Zero potentially this Wednesday on Whoop Wednesday at 6 Eastern. I might have an HDMI splitter here that I can try to give you guys. I'll try it. Fat Pastor, can you do me a huge favor? Can you message me on Discord a reminder to try that? Abraham with a $20 super chat. Thank you so much, homie. He says, I know it's early, but I'm not sure I'll be here later, and I want to get Bob Noxious's giveaway tickets. Put them down for 2 when the time comes, and do what you want with the rest. My condolences to you and family, Bob. Thank you so much, Aber. I need to open this up and put that on there because there's no chance that I will remember that in an hour from now. So hang on 1 second here, and we're going to go in here, and then, where is it? Yep, there it is. Got it. And once and twice. There it is. All right, we're good to go. Thank you again, Aber. Very, very cool of you, my man. Boilerboy1981 says, does soft mounting ESCs help with durability? You know, that's a really good question. I have thought that, I have had that same question. And when I had that same kind of thought, I started soft mounting ESCs. I have not run the same ESC in succession to figure out if it does, but it's certainly not going to hurt the durability, right? So, and the ESC manufacturers are pretty much all doing it. So those two things, it's kind of like, yeah, let's soft mount our ESCs. It really, like, most of my ESCs die from like a shock load, you know, like slamming into something. So to put rubber grommets on it and to slow down that, you know, crazy rapid deceleration that they deal with when they smack into concrete or metal or cement, can only possibly help them. So I'm going to say yes, but I haven't specifically like had 3 ESCs and I put them all in rigs, one of them soft mounted and 2 of them not, right? Like, I haven't actually done the testing, but there's just no way that it could possibly hurt it unless you've got a physical component that's kind of close to it. When you're soft mounting an ESC, understand that in a hard collision, it's gonna move. It's gonna max out those rubber grommets. So when you're mounting your ESC, like maybe we'll do tonight, make sure that you push it, and you'll see me do this. Make sure you push it down, push it up, push it sideways, and make sure that it's not going to contact. Like, this is a common thing if you've got a base plate with a press nut in it, right? The press nut will sit up 1.5 millimeters to 2 millimeters above the base plate. And if your ESC is just skimming right above that guy and you flat bottom that rig really hard, it could come down and the FETs could smack into that press nut, and it's game over at that point. Or you also, in that scenario, you want to make sure you're not putting a screw up through the press nut and the screw is getting really close to the ESC, right? So you just got to like look at it really carefully and move it around with your fingers and push on it pretty hard to make sure it's not going to hit anything. Or the standoffs. If the standoffs are really close to the ESC, make sure it's not going to come back and slam into one of the standoffs. Great question, Boiler Boy. Your head's in the right place, brother. Gamma Gonad says, I have at least 8 Hobbywing 60 amp ESCs, had them for a long time and haven't been able to destroy one yet. I've destroyed plenty of quads around them, $50 a pop when I bought them. Oh man, the days of $50 ESCs. Oh man. Yo, I remember at one point, I bought like 5 or 6 Acon ESCs for $25 each. It was a Black Friday or something like that sale. I don't remember what the website was, but I bought as many of them as I could afford at the time, and I still have like 3 of them left. I haven't been able to get through them. Gamma Gonad, that's really good to hear. I will say this about Hobbywing ESCs. They are almost certainly higher quality than like pretty much all the other ESCs. I've been hearing really good things about the new Foxier ESCs though, which is kind of nice. I don't think Foxier manufactures them. If I had to guess, Acon manufactures them, maybe Hobbywing. But yeah, that's really good to hear, Gamma Gonad. Previous to the Hobbywings, how many were you going through ESCs a lot? What we want to realize is that like every pilot flies and crashes completely different. And so, yeah, like I'm not saying that Gamma Gonad doesn't crash, but there are people that will start arguments with me on Facebook, which is why I don't go on Facebook anymore, that are like, oh no, so-and-so ESC is the best ESC ever. And I'll kind of poke and prod a bit and be like, you know, how long you been flying? And like, they've either been flying for like 3 days, or it's like, you know, how often do you crash? And I'm like, oh, I don't crash. What are you, an amateur? You crash? What are you, an idiot? And it's like, okay, your opinion doesn't matter. So yeah, that's just something to keep in mind for all of you guys. Like, if you're going to ask a question to like not someone that's like sort of an established resource, just understand that most of those people, A, have no idea what they're talking about, B, are fairly new pilots, C, just, you know, I don't know what C is, but most of the advice you're going to get in the open internet is going to be bad advice. So make sure that like you're not just asking like just going onto an open like Reddit or Facebook and just being like, what's the best ESC? Like, you might as well just write like, I'm an asshole, don't answer my question. It's just, that's not a question you ever want to ask, because the answers that you're going to get are going to be awful, awful answers, because the only people that answer that question are idiots. No, not idiots. They just like, I won't answer, for example, I won't answer that question. Joshua Bardwell won't answer that question. Nobody that knows shit about shit will answer that question, because it's just a waste of time. Like, the person asking that question is obviously very new, and they're probably not going to listen to you anyway in that case, right? Like, you get what I'm saying? I'm going to stop bashing on people, because we've all asked that. I've asked that question before, in fairness. So, like, I'm not immune to it. It was, 5 or 6 years ago, maybe longer, but yeah, keep that in mind. If you're going to ask people that are not established resources for advice, make sure that the question that you're asking is as specific as possible, and make sure that that when you get answers from people, that you dig a little bit and like ask them some questions, or at least look at their channel, look at their Facebook page, make sure that they didn't start flying a month ago, right? Gamma Gonad, oh, we know, got that. Kiz Bartlett says, YouTube just did the thing. Kiz Bartlett says, do you use battery sag compensation on any of your whoops? I do not. I probably should. I've heard really good things about battery sag compensation, but I've been not using that for so long that I kind of rely on the sag to tell me when I'm coming towards the end of the battery. With OSD, we've got the low battery warning and stuff like that, but like, yeah, I don't know. And I almost would rather have a little bit more power at the beginning of the battery, because that's kind of fun to play around with, and then sort of chill out towards the end of the battery. When you think about like flight edits, you're always going to front load all of your most exciting shit. So it's kind of doing the same thing. If you ever don't, but if you ever look at your YouTube analytics on flight edits, nobody ever watches past the first 30 seconds. So yeah, I kind of, without battery sag compensation on, each battery you fly is kind of like your YouTube audience. So the first 30 seconds, you're gonna have the most power, and woo! But I mean, from a consistency standpoint, it's a really good thing. And consistency is a big deal to trying to be the best pilot that you can. So there you go. Kevin Sumner says, so what do you want to do when this? So what are you going to do when the session 6 lands? I hope the rumors are true. Pretty certain that the rumors are true. I don't know. What I might do is just throw a bunch of the session 5s on the eBay and use the money I make from them. I'm really tempted to do that now, but if I were to do that now, the session 6 would not be true, and I would be asked out. So I ain't playing that game. there have been talks of a new session for the last like 2 years. I really do think that it's true this time. What I'm pretty sure is true is that they have a development product that's out there and that people have been testing. Whether or not they make 1 million of the damn things and release them, that's a whole different thing, because there's like in order for them to do that, they're gonna have to be sure that they're gonna make money on it. And they discontinued the Session 5 because they weren't making money on it. So yeah, right? Like, those decisions have to go through every part of GoPro, not just the engineers. Right now, I think that the engineers have created a Session 6, which I'll bet you has a Hero 8 sensor in it. And they have it out in the world to make sure that it's durable and yada, yada, yada. Once they figure that out, then it's got to go through everybody else in the company, marketing and you know, the higher ups and everybody that's involved in GoPro, so that they can make sure that they make some money on it and don't lose their ass again. And that's where I'm worried that it might not make it and it might not eventually come out. But I bet you it does, because in the past 2 years, there have never been like actual R&D units that have been out in the universe getting tested. And there's a whole hell of a lot of money that goes into that R&D process. So typically companies don't want to just throw that money away, right? Like, at least if you look at what GoPro's been doing for us, right? They made us the GoPro bones. That shit's not for anyone else. That's for drone pilots, yo. Like, who else, like, what other extreme sports people have a battery that they can plug the goddamn camera into, right? Like, they made the bones for us, and that's a big deal. So, and the Session is something that all the extreme sports people want. If you look at the Hero 11 Mini trailer, GoPro's official trailer here on YouTube, and you look down in the comments are filled with people that have nothing to do with FPV saying, that's great and all, but when the hell are you going to put another session out? Like, everybody wants a session again. It's not just us. So that makes me fairly confident this can come out this time. Blizzard FPV with a $2 Canadian super chat. He says, money grabbing motor manufacturing with heads up ass. There we go. CiottiFPV 2022. Thank you for the 4 Canadian Californian dollars, Blizzard FPV. Abraham says, why not use flap mounts on your Cinewhoops? The one reason is the flap mounts, you never know exactly what your up tilt is. With a TPU mount, you order it with a specific up tilt. So you know that you've got 10 degrees or 20 degrees or 30 degrees or 40 degrees of up tilt. The other reason is durability. On the flap mounts, the GoPros, the Heroes are, I mean, you might as well just break it when you're walking out of Best Buy, because it's not going to survive worth of shit. So yeah, those are the two main reasons. When you put a Hero in a full TPU sleeve like this, it becomes so much more durable. It's really kind of incredible. Although it makes a lot of sense, right? TPU is like perfectly squishy, and when you really slam it hard, it's going to just take that initial like you know, metal on metal-ish spike of G-force out of it, which seems to be what breaks the Heroes. So yeah, I hate, on one hand, I hate running these full TPU sleeves because they're heavy as hell. They're usually between 20 and 25 grams. But the durability is a really big deal. And even on set, crashes do happen. And when you crash on set and your Hero dies, it sucks. Like, it really, really, really sucks. Hopefully you've got an extra, but for a while I couldn't really afford to have an extra. But even now that I do have extras, it's just not something that I want to happen, because you could lose that entire battery's worth of footage, and that's unacceptable. Like, that's just not something that, if you want to get hired again, that's not something that you can have happen. Yes, typically, if that happens, you can pull the memory card out of that GoPro, put it into another GoPro, turn that GoPro on, it'll repair the file, but it doesn't always work. It doesn't always do that. And yeah, I would rather give my clients. I'm not big enough to have that happen where I'm like, sorry, that whole battery is gone. We're gonna have to do it again. Like that. I'm not that important of of an FPV pilot yet, and that's okay. Yeah. Steady Eddie says, I exploded Hero 8 today. GoPro is replacing it with a 9 under the subscription, and they waived the replacement fee for me. That's really cool, Steady Eddie. I had the same back when they still had Session 5s. They did the same thing for me, actually. They waived the replacement fee. I think the replacement fee is just there for people that try to abuse it. Although you can't really abuse it because they only give you 2 replacements per year. But yeah, the $5 a month GoPro thing, they will absolutely replace 2 GoPros. After they replaced my second one, well, so I blew up a Session 5, they replaced it with a Session 5, I blew up another Session 5, they said we don't have any more Session 5s, we're going to send you a Hero Black 6. And then I canceled it because I only did it because I wanted replacement sessions. And this was at a time where Best Buy no longer sold them. So I don't know. I don't know what happens when you break the third one. Somebody in chat probably does. So somebody say it in chat. Baby Takes Flight says, hey dude, what do you use to capture your live analog feed on your computer? P.S. I won't cause any trouble tonight. You're not causing trouble. It's these little guys. They're $35 and they work shockingly well. You're going to type in, I'm going to put it into the chat. You're going to type into Amazon ROTG. Or just type in like FPV USB receiver and you'll find it. But yeah, this is what it is. Got a little micro USB on the bottom, fairly straightforward. You can even run these into Android phones, which is pretty slick. They give you the cables to do that. Fat Pastor says, yes, I'll remind you, plus send a PayPal to pay for it if you'd like. Sounds awesome, brother. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Double A says, some pilots epoxy components in place on ESCs. I've gone down that road with Racer Star ESCs. I got a bunch of Racer Star ESCs, 30x30, 35 amp, I want to say, ESCs for $20 a piece, I think. And I tried epoxying those, and it didn't really make them any more durable. A $20 ESC is not going to be durable, full stop. So that was kind of putting lipstick on a pig, or shining up shit, whichever you prefer. But yeah, that's something that that I've seen manufacturers do. I've seen manufacturers put a layer of epoxy on any old electronic components to try to make them more shock resistant. So it's also something that the BattleBox folks do. The BattleBox folks, they coat all of their electronic components in either epoxy or something. So yeah, that's definitely something that happens. I was skeptical at first because I thought that the ESC would overheat, but it really did not seem to. It broke from shock. So yeah, what I would say is there are epoxies with different hardnesses. Some of the epoxies are really kind of gummy. You wouldn't want that. You're going to want an epoxy that dries like as hard as possible. Although the fact that it's going to like completely envelop or whatever all the components is going to make it pretty strong regardless. But yeah, just food for thought. Blizzard FPV with a 5 Canadian super chat. He says, you don't crash, your opinion doesn't matter. CiottiFPV 2022. Thanks again, Blizzard. Man, I talk some shit on here. Marcel Off Access with a $3 Canadian super chat. Thank you, brother. No comment, just wants to show some love for being a full-time FPV nerd. Thank you, brother. Don E with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Don, with a little flying pear guy. What is that little guy? Is he a little pear? Is that what that little fella is? Gamma Gunhead says, like I said, I have destroyed a quad with each of those ESCs inside. Normally effed up the gyro, flight controlling those crashes. All I can speak for is the older 60 amp. I have effed up other ESCs. I had a feeling, Gamma Gunhead, yeah, I had a feeling that you do crash, but and I hopefully I didn't make you feel like I was trashing on you. I tried to, open it up to everyone. But yeah, just keep that in mind, guys, because it's I hate to see people ask questions on Facebook and then they get bad advice and then they go waste their money on stuff. This is why like the build planning services that I have on Fiverr have been the most popular because so many people are so tired of buying shitty components that don't work or blow up right out of the box or on the third crash, that literally paying me $40 for a half an hour to go through with you the components that I've found over the last 6 years don't catch on fire right away. It actually ends up saving you money. Like, forget what your time is worth, right? Like, value your time. You know, your time is worth 40 or $50 an hour. How much time have you spent swapping out an ESC that caught on fire? 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours? Like, that, don't do that to yourself. Go with stuff that actually works. The easy button for this, I hate to break it to you, but the easy button for this is to spend more money in your components. I have been broke. I was completely broke for the first 3 years I was into this hobby. The first year and a half I was unemployed. And then I wasn't much less broke for the next like 2.5 years. And I mean, I'm not broke now, but I'm certainly not, you know, I'm still driving a beat ass Mazda 2, right? Like there's no fancy car or anything going on, but I wouldn't call myself broke anymore. Like I can live. I can't afford healthcare yet. I guess I am broke, but yeah, your time is worth it. Spend a little bit more money on components. Typically, like if you like on an ESC, for example, right? If there's a $50 and a $60 ESC, the extra $10 that you spend on that ESC, I can almost guarantee you it will last like $20 or $30 longer. Does that make sense? Like it really is like a wonder run the relationship. In all those years of being like unbelievably broke in this hobby, I have searched for every single possible like, oh my God, this is going to be the cheapo ESC that changes everything and I'm going to be a genius and I'm going to have found it. I've got a big stack of blown up electronics in a bag over there. And yeah, there aren't many expensive electronics in there, and there are a lot of cheap electronics in there. I wish, believe me, I wish that I could put an edit out that says, stop everything. You guys are going to lose your mind. I found the $20 ESC that actually holds up to punishment. It's just not the case. Like, the companies that are making these things are not, like, they don't have parking lots filled with Porsches and Ferraris. Nobody's making money at these companies. Other than maybe RDQ and TBS is probably making some good money. But yeah, most of these companies are not wealthy. Like you're getting what you pay for 99% of the time in FPV, especially because we demand that everything be cheap, right? Because we're breaking everything all the time. So yeah. Kiz Bartlett says, just be careful if you run VMware on your computer. It breaks the ROTG, although I can imagine it won't be a widespread problem. LOL, I do not run VMware on this computer. I have no interest in PC anything. Steady Eddie says, the GoPro replacement resets at the 1 year mark for another 2 replacements. Not bad for the average Joe. Yeah, right. And so what doesn't make sense is like why you would continue to pay. My question before was more like when you break the third one and you're not after the year, like what happens? Do they say like, oh, we'll hook you up one more time? Or do they say like, nah, bro, you got to wait until the end of the year? That's what I'm curious about. All they really have is, I guess they have the serial numbers on them, but like, I don't know, after you break the second GoPro, why would you not cancel it? Nobody's getting it for the cloud stuff. Nobody's going to pay $5 a month for the GoPro cloud nonsense. So you just cancel it and grab somebody else's email address and do a new one. But if they already have that old serial number, they could probably tie it together. So maybe that won't work. Kevin Sumner says, BattleBots, you say? When are we getting that project off the ground? Over on CiottiFPV.com is the answer. I know you know this, Kevin Sumner, but if you want more information on the CiottiFPV BattleBot, head on over to CiottiFPV.com, scroll down, there's a button that says BattleBots info. You'll love it. Jason Crabtree says, did you try the long 50-foot USB cables with an active repeater for your VRX? No, the 42 foot USB cable that I got, it turned out it was a power only USB cable. I can't find data. I actually need your guys' help with this. I need to put this micro USB video receiver 50 feet away. How the hell do I do that? I need so the USB data cables max out at 15 feet. I did some digging, and apparently 16.4 feet is the limit for those cables. They do sell regular old USB male to USB female cables that are super long. But I assume that if I get one of those and then plug the micro USB cable into it, that I'll run into the problem that the micro USB cables have, that they solved by not selling them more than 15 feet. I would love to be wrong about that, because that's such an easy solution. I just snag one of those USB male to females that's like 40 feet long, 30 feet long, and then I get one of these micro USB cables that's 10 feet long, which I probably already have, and away we go. I've got an analog receiver up in the living room so that when I'm flying around the house, you guys can get a little bit of a better signal up there. Plus, it'll actually allow me to put this in the front window of the house and fly in the front yard, which will be pretty fun. Yeah. How do I do it? What's the cheapest way of doing it? I don't really care what's the best way of doing it. It's all about being cheap. PJ says, what is the average amp draw on a full punch with a 5inch 6S rig? Nowadays, over 100 amps, PJ. It's a lot, man. I've seen 110. I've seen 120 plus amps. It depends on, it mainly just depends on the motor, but it also kind of depends on the propeller and the all-up weight. But mainly it depends on the stator volume of the motor. So like these 2208s, good God, they pull some amps. It's really incredible. But yeah, my rigs, they pull closer to like 95-ish amps because I just have them set up to not have a lot of power. I run low-ish pitch props, and I keep my all-up weight really low, 605 or so grams. But yeah, big old stator volume motors pull an unbelievable amount of amps. It's kind of wild. Danzo the Terrible says it's not a flying pair. It's a Barbapapa. What the hell's a Barbapapa? I'm intrigued. Barba. Better not get me in trouble here. That's a Barbapapa. Why is it a Barbapapa? Why do I keep saying the word Barbapapa? I'm gonna stop saying the word Barbapapa now. That's awkward. Am I old? Paul McDonald says, I got you. I'll put it in with the giveaway stuff. Thank you, dude. Much appreciated. Riot9 says, we linked a USB to Cat 6 cable in the Discord when you asked. Oh, I didn't see it. So USB to Ethernet back to USB will go 100 feet. Oh, God, really? Why? Isn't there something simpler than that? Because then I'm sure I got to plug the thing in. I saw stuff like that. 661 says cut and solder your own long USB wires. I mean, I'm not going to do all that work and then it's not going to work, right? Like the 16.4 foot thing seems like if you ignore that, it's going to cause problems, right? What do I know? Could be totally wrong. Why can't it be easy? Jason Crabtree says, have a link. Where do you want me to send it? Any private message. CiottiFPV.com, by the way, has all my contact info. So Instagram, Facebook, Discord. There's even my email address on there. Whatever's easiest for you, Jason. Thank you, dude. But man, I would love a simpler solution than that. Steady Eddie says, I have a 25-foot USB extension that works with my lap RF puck for timing. That plus a 10 to 15-foot cable. That would get me close. That would get me really close. but not quite. I have right now, actually, I have a 35-foot Ethernet cable running this same loop that I need the cable for this to run. Almost. It's a little bit too short here, and then it's a little bit too short up there. So realistically, 35 feet is like 2 feet, maybe 3 feet shy of what I need. So realistically, 40 feet is the bare minimum. With how good Amazon's return policy is, and now that you've said that, Steady Eddie, I might try to do it that way. Because, like, I don't know, is this really passing that much data through the USB, right? And that's a solution that I don't need to power up there, kind of thing. Fat Pastor says you need a cordless extension cord. Taz Nightmare says maybe use adapters for extend or get a VR USB-C cable and use an adapter. What's a VR USB-C cable? I don't know computer things. You guys are going to talk to me like an 8-year-old when it comes to computer things. YouTube did the thing again, trying to find my place. There we go. Paul McDonald says, I have an active head, just like my ex-wife, extension cable I can send you. I don't know what an active head is, but I'll certainly give it a try, Paul, if you're not using it. Thank you, dude. How long is it? 8-year-olds, dude. Forever an 8-year-old. Every single one of us. 661FPV says, just use bigger gauge wires, right? That's it. Bob Noxious dropping the CiottiFPV.com link. Thank you, brother. Paul McDonald says, I can send you a long-ass Cat 6 cable, too, in case. I actually have a bunch of really long... I don't know if they're... Nah, they are Cat 6 cable. Thank you, though. Right 9 says, the data makes it however long, it's the power loss that causes the problems over the long length. That makes sense. Denzel the Terrible says, listen to Paul McDonald and Riot 9. Gotcha. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. It's 11:06. Let's do some giveaways. God damn it. Let me get the Barba Papa out of here. And first 3 giveaways are going to be for patrons. $5 a month tier gets you entered into the Toothpick and Tiny Whoop giveaway. $10 a month gets you entered into the 3-inch micro brushless and Cinewhoop giveaway. $20 a month gets you entered into the 5-inch freestyle giveaway. I should have said that at the beginning of the live stream so that you guys would have had time to join the Patreon. But you know. Caveman says, can you route the cable to a straight path, drill holes through the walls, refrigerator ceiling? This is about the straightest possible path. The basement down here is drop ceiling, as you can kind of see back here. So the path is straight up the wall and then like diagonally straight over to the hole that goes straight up to where it needs to be. Technically, I could run it up here under the sink and then I could... But that's not where I want it. I want it in that corner of the living room where there already is a hole up in the floor. If I was willing to there is another hole over here. But that would not let me get it into the front window for flying in the street. Can't rearrange the room. I painted this wall blood red and Barney purple. There is no rearranging this room. and upstairs, they're like 15-foot tall built-ins that I'm dealing with. But yeah, if I was willing to sacrifice flying out in the front yard, then I could pull it off. With probably, no, because 16 and a half feet ain't going to be enough. I don't think 16 and a half feet is going to be enough to go up here to there and then up into the bottom of the built-in. It's probably like 18 feet, right? Plus, they don't sell USB cables in 16.4 feet. They're all like 14 feet or 12, or I don't even think I could find one at 15 feet. So yeah, unfortunately, that wouldn't really work. But yeah, it's a better solution to get it up into the front corner, because then I can put this guy in the front window if I'm flying out front, or just leave it in the cabinet for when I'm ripping around the living room. Sleepy CBR says, look, IO Gear USB 2.0 booster extension cable. Let me put that into a tab that I'm not gonna close out. All right, got it. Thank you, brother. 661 says, just used more milliwatt VTX, right? Yeah, that's it. That's totally it. CMYK says, yo, dude, and he's in the house, living in California now. Congratulations, brother. It's giveaway time. I need a little fun song for the giveaways. First up is the Tiny Whoop. The fourth giveaway, by the way, is open to anyone. You got to wait until the first giveaways are after. I'm sorry. You got to wait for the first 3 giveaways to finish before I explain how you can get in on that one. First up, our Tiny Whoop and Toothpick giveaway is sponsored by the awesome folks over at We Bleed FPV. They have been huge supporters of mine over the last couple of months. They're awesome people. I love what they're doing, and they now have high-ass KV 0702s. In my opinion, these are the ones you want. These are 0702 28,500 KV. On Whoop Wednesday last week, I guess it was, I tested these guys out head-to-head against the Tiny Whoop 0702 30,000 KV motors, and I couldn't tell a difference. Is there a difference? Probably a little bit of a difference. If you're a better pilot than me, maybe you'll be able to tell that difference. I kind of doubt it, though. These make amazing power on the Gemfan biblades. Runtime is shockingly good, too. And it's just like next level. Like these high KV 0702s unlock like a much more three-dimensional flight experience with Tiny Whoops if you've got the ceiling height. Although even like this basement is only, yeah, I mean, like this basement is only this tall. And even down here, those motors have enough like instantaneous hit where you can throw yourself up in the air and hang upside down for like a quarter of a second, half a second. And you just can't do that on any other Tiny Whoop motors. So like if you fly Tiny Whoop freestyle or you want to, these high KV 0702s are, in my opinion, absolutely what you want. So yeah, again, huge shout out to We Bleed FPV for, I ordered a set of these and then they sent me a second set. I assumed for these giveaways. They sent me a whole bunch of other stuff, which you're going to see in the next couple of giveaways too. So we're going to have a bunch of We Bleed FPV sponsored giveaways. Yeah, head on over to their store and show them some love. Also, it's one of these OG newbie drone toothpick canopies. It's not really a toothpick canopy, but that's how we pretty much all know these. Little UFL whip antenna and a little set of We Bleed FPV stickers, which are super fun. Look at that one. Stick time, yo. It's all about it. I have to do a thing. I have 2 monitors. I got to keep reminding myself that I have 2 monitors again. Over on Discord, one of the other benefits of being a patron is access to a bunch of additional Discord text channels, one of them is the Stick End Fund. You get access to a box with every single stick end that exists, and I'll mail it to you so that you can try them all out, because that's the only way to tell if you're going to like them on your thumbs, because your eyeballs looking at a picture of them on a website has nothing to do with your thumbs. One of the other Patreon-only channels is called The Video Collective, and over on The Video Collective, you guys can post your edits for each other to make fun of and trash and shit all over, which doesn't really happen. The other cool thing about it, though, is that while I'm getting these giveaways set up for the next couple of minutes, I'm going to play a bunch of your edits. I do not let in the late entries, though. CMYKFPV. I see you at 11:08 uploading yours. Nope. Denzel the Terrible uploaded it yesterday at 8:18 p.m., so he's going to be the first one that we look at. So let me just open these up in a tab or two here. And what do you, come on. Hold on, let me do it this way. Copy link, and let's open it up in here. One. Oh, really? Come on now. Don't. Oh, you jerks. Hold on. I'm not good at computering. Leave me alone. Unfortunately, I have to mute these because God forbid I play anybody's copyrighted music and they decide to attack me. All right. So we got some Danzel the Terrible. We've got some Great Southern FPV. And then we got a little bit of Fat Pastor for you guys as well. And all three of them shall be muted. Oh, these are launching in Safari where I don't have an ad blocker. There we go. All right, cool. All three of these are up, I think. Is that working? That's working. All right, cool. So you guys are going to enjoy these three videos with some sounds from with some music from Epidemic Sounds. And I'm going to get the thing set up in the place, and then I'll be back. All right, hang on a second. Let me just refresh this guy, and come on. Feel the Same from a band called Starlight. Hopefully it doesn't suck. Here you guys go. I'll be right back. All right, guys. I tried to play Denzel the Terribles, but I've never seen YouTube do that. I dropped the link to it though, and there's a link to Fat Pastor's Mob Light 7 HD0 review as well. I only played the. You probably saw me scrub through it, but I only played the flight footage part. It looks like he's got a bench part on the bench there. So good stuff from Fat Pastor. He's becoming like the. He's quickly becoming like the HD0 whoop guy. Yeah, it's super impressive. He's got a whole bunch of them, and we are all very lucky to have access to that. So. Tiny Whoop and Toothpick tier, We Bleed FPV 0702 28,500 kV Gore motors, a bunch of stickers, little canopy, and a whip antenna. Hold on, let me kill the music real quick here. All right, there we go. Let's see who's gonna win. Here comes the thing. This is raffle.pokeyfpv.com. This is free for anybody to use. It's super fun. Oh, look, the duration's saved. Everybody's name goes on a ticket. I make it full screen. I grab the goat in my left hand. I click the button while the goat makes a screaming noise. All the tickets get blown away but one. That person gets sent a bunch of stuff. That person's name... Nah, I timed it wrong. I still see Rob Axis in there. I still see... Nope, he's gone. Oh, everybody's gone. The world's greatest... The world's greatest drone pilot, Bot Grinder FPV, has won. Congrats, Bot. Oh my god, that's cool. He's going to probably do a review of these because he's going to lose his mind when he sees how good these fly. That's awesome. That's going to give a lot more visibility than I can give to these amazing motors. Very, very cool. Congratulations, Bot. Where's my marker? Where's that marker at? All right, this will be fun. And I'm gonna write Bot in there. There it is. Ooh, that's really cool. I'm really excited that he's gonna get that. I'm gonna have to send him a message and be like, "Yo, buy a Mobula 6 ELRS for these." Next up, we've got the 3-inch micro brushless and Cinewhoop tier. Oh, I almost forgot his little. Camera mount. Those are the words. Next up, we've got the $10 a month tier, and I've got so much stuff crammed in this bag that I'm having trouble getting it out. Hey, by the way, to everybody that wins, I'm putting these little things in here. These are those matte kitchen drawer matte liner material. These are amazing for grabbing the motor bell. If you can't get a motor screw off and it's slipping in your fingers, just use these guys. I'm sending you all 3 so you can like put one in your flight bag, one in your toolbox, and one in your bum. So you can do that. Look at an old OG. We're going old school with these old ass HQ 3x3 bi-blades. 2 sets of these, one in pretty pink and one in proper smoke gray. We've got a set of the D76 Gemfan Cinewhoop props in smoke crotch gray. And then we've got, I want to say 3 sets of the Emax Avan 3-inch. These are awesome. Hopefully you've got a motor that these will actually work on. Really flat motors where the top is really flat and wide, these actually won't work on. The blade hits the top of the motor. Most 1404s this will work on. These will work on, and they're really, really nice. They're fairly low pitch. They're like 2.4 pitch, I think it is. But these are arguably the best 3-inch T-mount propellers that exist. I absolutely love these props. And then the big item here is a set of motors that I don't know what size they are. These are Hyperlight motors. I'm pretty sure that they're 1103s. Hold on, let's actually look this up real quick. Pyro Drone 1103. Let me just do a quick. No, is that it? No, it's these are flat on top. Well, let's just go to Pyro Drone. And then we're gonna look at we're gonna search for hyperlight. These are definitely a hyperlight motor. They're a little tiny guy. It looks like an 1103, but they're flat on top. Oh, Christ. That ain't gonna work. It's pulling up too many pages. Let's go to motors, brand, hyperlight, and then on the left here, how many are there? There's 59. I'll be able to find it in here. So it's T-mount and it's got a flat top. It's not a 2005, not a 2005. 1204.5. Nope, different top to the bell. It's a tri-spoke. It's gonna be a dead giveaway. Damn it, they don't sell it anymore. Well, I don't know what size these are. I also don't know what KV they are. It doesn't say the KV on it. I thought for sure I'd be able to find it on PyroDrone. Here's what it looks like. First person to tell me what size and KV this is gets nothing. It's got white motor wires. They've got PH 2.0 connectors on them, and it's a four post mount base. You're gonna get a full set of these, and they don't look like they've ever been used. Although they have had the wires extended. I don't know. They look too clean to have ever been crashed. So even if they were used, they weren't crashed. And yeah, really awesome set of lightweight 3-inch motors here. Let me look at chat super quick, like, to see if anybody is already calling out what these are. June Logo says 1103. There you go. Metadirtskin says those look like the original Pyro toothpick motors. They're like 11,500 kV. Okay, awesome. Nacho says 11. They really look like 1103. So there you go. That's what they are. Here comes the list of beautiful people that are on this tier. And we're going to make that full screen. We're going to grab the goat and blow a bunch of tickets away. Timbo Slice is in there. He's hanging around. Paul McDonald is in there as well. Oh, man. I forgot to change the... Timbo Slice is still there. Coil Locker is still there. Paul McDonald is gone. Stephen Pratt's still there. I can see him. Ed K is there. Whoop, Timbo said, whoop, everybody's gone other than Stephen Pratt. Congratulations, Stephen. You have won some things. I'm going to write your name down. Evan Pratt. And I'm going to grab your info off of Patreon and send you some stuff. Congratulations, Stephen! Finally, we've got, for our Patreon giveaways, the 5-inch items. And tonight, we've got a bunch of props and a flight controller. I hope you're ready. Another set of these things, of course. And we've got a set of the new GemFan 5136s, which I've been hearing really, really, really good things about. We've got a set of the HQ R38s, which I've also heard really good things about for freestyle. We've got a set of the HQ J40s. I don't like these. They're a little bit too thin for me. If you crash hard into concrete, they're going to bend up so bad that you can't take back off, which is kind of a deal breaker for me. If you don't crash a lot, or if you just crash in recoverable spots, it doesn't matter. You're going to dig these. And then we've got either 3 or 4 sets of these really interesting GemFan props. These are 5144s. They're a heavier weight prop. These are my favorite props for chasing drift cars because they're strong enough that if you hit something and you crash on track, you can probably take off and get the hell out of there without getting run over and losing all your shit. When our drones get run over by drift cars, it's pretty much a total loss. You're going to pretty much lose everything, including the GoPro. It's really, really, really nasty. I feel like I'm the only person that's ever flown drift cars on more than like 1 or 2 occasions that has not been run over by them. And one of the reasons why might be that I fly a heavier prop. I don't just fly my regular freestyle props when I go. I fly something that's heavier and more durable with the understanding that eventually I'm going to hit... I mean, I have hit them a bunch, actually, because they don't care. Their cars are all beat to shit from ramming into each other. They don't care about a drone hitting them. And every time that's happened, I've been able to fly away. So This is a really cool prop from GemFan, and there's either 3 or 4 sets of them in here in Smoke Crotch Gray and Clear Red. And then we've got a brand new T-Motor Velox F411 flight controller that is drilled for either 30x30 or 20x20. There's your 5-inch giveaway for the night. Here comes the list of beautiful bastards that are in the running to win it. There they are. Go! Said the rest. Tyler Sherrard is on the top left corner. He just got blown away right away. Frank Nicholas is on the top right corner. Brian Gladmoral is on the right. Tiago Ramos is in the middle on the right. Bob Noxious Curly is in the middle. Parker Lipscomb is on the top. Oh, a bunch of people just got blown away. Wom FPV is left. Wom FPV has won. Congratulations, brother. I'm going to write your name down. And I'll grab your info off of Patreon. Wom FPV. Very cool. 4th giveaway is Super Chat and PayPal based. Anybody can enter it. Here's how it works. If you do a Super Chat, that's totally fine, but YouTube and Google are going to take 30%. That's okay. They give me this platform to stream off of, but if you don't want your money to go to them, you can go over to CiottiFPV.com, scroll down, there's a PayPal button. PayPal doesn't take anything. Do me a favor, in the note, just write, like, for giveaway. If you don't, it doesn't really matter, though. Starting right now, if you PayPal or Super Chat $5, I'll put you on the wheel once. $10, I'll put you on the wheel twice. That's it. After that, I'm just going to take the money and spend it on Hooers. Bob Noxious is on there twice already. I didn't miss anybody last week, so we're good to go. Ready? Go. Let me get caught up on chat while you guys are doing that. Actually, let me show you what what you're playing for. That would help, wouldn't it? Whole bunch of stuff here tonight. Some of it is like dependent upon what you want. So you can either have a MMCX right-hand circular polarized little antenna here, an SMA Longboy Axie 2, or a... Why do I keep forgetting the name to this? Helical, or a helical antenna. One of the 3. The other ones are going to just go into next week. I've got another pack of these 5144s here for you. 3 or 4 sets. I think it's 3 sets. I've also got a pack of the Ethics S5s. These, I did this on purpose because this is a little bit of an older GemFan prop. Admittedly, this is older than these S5s. S5s are getting a little bit old now too. These are 2 like older school, more durable, cinematic-ish propellers. These Ethics S5s are probably a little bit lighter than these, so this will be fun for you to kind of try 2 like heavier, slightly more pitchy kind of props out. I hope you guys are into that kind of thing. I certainly am. I love testing propellers that are like it's fun to test like the lightest prop against the heaviest prop, right? But like testing 2 propellers that are kind of made for the same thing, I find that to be a lot more fun because you got to really like pay attention to try to find the subtleties of each one. Couple of the little motor grippy things. We've got a TBS smoke stopper. Don't use this as your main smoke stopper. Put this in your flight bag so that you have one wherever you go. Do yourself a favor and get yourself a Vi-Fly Short Stopper 2. That's the one that you want in your bench to use at home most of the time. A set of the Grip Lite, the blue stuff. And then if you or anybody that you know have a QX7, this is a screen protector for it. I'm going to leave this out, though, because you might not want it. And then an awesome little Brain 3D full-color 3D printed keychain. The full colorness is just... I just find it to be incredible that any of the 3D printers are set up to do that. And then also, you can shoot TweetFPV a message and say, yo, I won Ciotti's giveaway. I would like a set of your skateboard transmitter grip tape grips for so-and-so transmitter, or a TS100. He even makes his grips for the TS100. Shout out to TweetFPV, awesome dude that has been offering this in my giveaways for like a while now. So yeah, that's what you're playing for. $5 to get on the wheel 1 time, $10 to get on the wheel 2 times. Let me scroll up, get caught up on chat, which will give you guys some time to get your PayPals in, and then we will spin the wheel. Kevin Sumner says, did you see my message about newbie drone? Oh, good. Having the Flywoo race wire. I did not, Kevin. Why didn't I see that? What the hell? Do they really? As soon as I get a Flywoo affiliate link set up. Hey, I have a newbie drone affiliate link too, by the way. Newbie drone. I'm going to search for Flywoo. Oh, that ain't it. Flywoo. Let's see what they got. Which ones do they have? So they've got the little tiny ones. That's great. Do they have the 9x15s though? Maybe they're linked on that same page. So this, nope, they only have the 4x10s. These are cool for toothpicks. The main problem with these though is I think they'll only take up to 3S. Ah, damn, no. These are just the 4x, 4x10, 4x15, 4x20. These guys, though, these will take up to 4S. They'll take up to 4S, but man, is that small. That is really tough to get. For the size of these pads are really only going to work for like 1202, 1203, 1204. Once you get up into like the 13 millimeter motors, usually the motor wires are so thick that like these pads are just going to be too close together. So realistically, these are just going to work on like toothpicks. But they're sold out. Oh wow, these are all sold out. Okay, so all they have are those other ones. Yeah, those are awesome, but keep in mind they're only for like really, really, really tiny motors. Great Southern, if you want to get Flywoo sells 9x15, those were 4x10, 15, 20, so 4 millimeters wide. Flywoo sells 9 millimeter wide, which you can use on any motors, by 15 millimeters long. Those are the only race wires that are short enough, 15, to use on micros. Those are what you see on all of my Rip Squeaks and all of my Cinesplores. And you can only get them on Flywoo's website. I do have an affiliate link to Flywoo, and I have those 9x15 race wires down below in the description. It is an affiliate link. Hey, does anybody need stuff from Flywoo? I'm doing an order. If you're thinking about it, they charge $10 shipping, and I'm only ordering like $20 worth of stuff, which just is silly. So yeah, if anybody wants to get in on a Flywoo order with me, I will, once the stuff comes in, I'll ship it to you. Great Southern says, I've been listening the whole time, but working on edits and waiting ever so much for my Acro V75 to come. Fly High says, do you run LEDs? Would you be interested in trying 3 to 4S or 6S Cobb LED strips? I'd be happy to give you enough to give them away too. Absolutely, Fly High. I can't guarantee you that I will run them, because they won't really work all that well on the glide frame. Mainly because of the devil horns on the end of the arms. But I will find a rig to put those on for sure, and they would be an amazing giveaway item. So yeah, if you want to sponsor a giveaway, I would love to give some of those away. Those are awesome. I've seen them a bunch. I'm always jealous when people have them. So yeah, man, thank you. Very, very cool. Blizzard FPV with a $5 super chat. He says, I ran my thumbs all over the stick ends on the website. They all seem smooth. It's crazy, right? But then you get them in the mail and they're not smooth. It's weird. I don't know. Great Southern says, please play the audio from mine. Too late. Sorry, brother. I dropped the link, though, so everybody hit Great Southern's edit link and play the audio. Metal Dirtskin says, YouTube keeps inventing new and different ways to mess everything up. It's really incredible. It really is. Never mind. Michael Blade says, what's good? Hanging out with you guys is what's good. Fat Pastor says, thanks for the shout out. Well deserved. I'm saying well deserved. William Loach says, what do you think of the 11 Mini? Is the session rumor true? Pretty sure the session rumor is true. I cannot wait for the 11 Mini to come out. As long as Best Buy sells it, I'm going to get 2. Metal Dirkson says, those look like we got there. Okay, great. YouTube just did the thing. Fat Pastor says, check your PayPal. I sent it. It's about that time. And Morton Upshot says those motors kind of look like drones in school motors, which are 1103 8000, if that's what they are. Denzel the Terrible says, did he say Smoke Crotch Gray? I certainly did. Anybody know what that's from? Anybody know what? I'm quoting a show. That's the only clue I'll give you. Smoke Crotch is the quote from the show. Paul McDonald says $5 in PayPal. Hey, also, if you do the PayPal, tag me in chat and say, hey. So Paul McDonald is going to go. No, let me do it from my email notifications. Joe Kurtzall sent $20 through PayPal. Thank you, homie. He says 4 giveaways. I'm just going to drop Kurtzall in there 2 times. And once and twice. There we go. Thank you, brother. We've got a little bit of Metal Dirt Skin with a $10 PayPal. He's going on the wheel 2 times. Thank you, John. And once and once and what the hell? Oh, there we go. Twice. I know how to copy and paste, I swear. Demo FPV with a $10 super chat. He says, put me on there twice, please. Thank you, Demo, for the support. You are going on once and twice. There you go. And we got a little bit of Edward Ashley going on there with a $10 super chat 2 times. Thank you, brother. Also, if you don't want me to read your PayPal name, basically your real name, in the little note, make sure you put whatever name you want me to read. That's how it works. If you put a name in the note, I'll read that name off. Kevin Sumner with holy crap, I almost said $5 with a $50 PayPal. Thank you, Kevin. Jesus. He says, put me on the wheel, then throw daggers at me or something. Thank you so much, Kevin Sumner. I will not throw daggers at you because you are an amazing supporter. But I will take the other $40 and snort it up my nose. I will grind up and chop up hookers and snort them up my nose. That's a new one. That's one of the more disturbing ones yet. Steven CMYKFPV sending $10. Thank you, brother. He says, yee. I'm going to put your human being name on here because you didn't put CMYK into the note. I'm going to make an example out of you, my man. Caveman, congratulations for joining the Patreon. You're going to love it. I promise. Thank you, Caveman. Discover Benefits, thank you for giving me 10,000 miles away to access your free Discover security and customer service benefits. Daniel Scruggs with a $20 PayPal. He says gift or HDMI splitter. Thank you, dude. Very, very cool of you. These are previous emails that have come through. Isaac Mitchell jumped onto the Patreon. Thank you so much, Isaac. Very cool of you, my man. And I think that I'm caught up. All right, cool. I'm caught up there. Let's get the super chats going. Paul McDonald, I should have you on here already. I think I have you on here. Why can't I find you? Did I somehow miss you? I somehow missed you, Paul. Is this real life? What's happening? Wasn't there was a PayPal for $5. I read it and then did I really just not copy and paste you? I'm the worst. Sorry, Paul. This is why I ask you guys to tag me in the chat because my brain is very ineffective. Now you're on there, Paul. Jesus. 661FPV with a $10 super chat. He says, one for me, one for Aber. Deal. We've got 1661 on here. I can show my screen now because my emails are not on. Well, not really. That's fine. And then one for Aber the Ham. All right. There we go. Thank you, 661. BW with a $5 super chat for the giveaway. You got it, BW. Thank you for the support, brother. Got you on there. Morton Upshot, $5 super chat. He's in for 1. Kevin Sumner calling out PayPal. Steady Eddie calling out PayPal. I should have both of you guys on here. Morton Upshot, you are on the giveaway. Thank you, brother. Denzel the Terrible, the $25 super chat. He says, one for Kiz Bartlett, one for Riot 9. CMYK is already on there. Who do you want that one to go to, Denzel? I'm going to put that one in your name, Dan, whether you like it or not. Kiz Bartlett is on here. Riot 9 is on here. Hey, by the way, guys, I don't ship outside of the U.S., so do me a favor, and if you're telling me to put somebody else on here that's outside of the U.S., don't. And I'm going to put Paul McDonald on here. If somebody outside of the U.S. wins, what I do is I message them and I say, hey, stamps.com is the worst. I'm just going to PayPal you money that is equal of the value of what you would have won so that you can buy your own stuff. So, yeah. All right, Paul McDonald's on there, and then I'm going to put Denzel the Terrible on there in place of CMYKFPV because he sent me a PayPal to be on there himself. Monitorton says PayPal sent. I found the video where Bob explains those hyperlight motors in the Discord live stream channel. Oh, these. Oh, very cool. Thank you. What size are they? Can you confirm for me what size and kV they are, Metal? Demo FPV says PayPal. I think I got you on here, right, Demo? I do. Thank you for the support again. And BW is going on there twice. He's not happy being on there just one time. Thank you, BW, for the support. You're on there 2 times now. And Jason Crabtree with a $10 super chat. He's going on there twice. Once and twice. And it looks like we're caught up. Fly High says, what are your favorite colors, 6S or 3 to 4S? I'm a red and purple kind of guy. It's my logo. It's my wall. And then I don't know if I'm going to be able to use the 6S ones because the only stuff that I have on 6S are the glides, and the arm ends just won't work with those. So realistically, man, you know, I don't know what I'm going to put those on. I can't really put those on any of my cinematic rigs. I can't really have those blasting away on set. And yeah, definitely 3 or 4S for sure. If I can find something to put it on, it's going to be a 3 or 4S. I'm sure that I'll find something to put them on. Probably the Rip Squeaks. Yeah, they'll work on the Rip Squeaks. Oh, that'll be so cool too. Yeah, the 6S ones, I just don't think... I'm trying to think of another way. I guess I could just route it around the top plate. Can you send me one 6S in purple, and I'll try to get it. I'll try to run it around the top plate on the glide, because I would love the freestyle rigs to have. I would love at least one of the freestyle rigs to just be. Oh. I'm gonna put it on. Hold on. I have this Joshua Bardwell rig. He sent me one of his flight controllers and his rig. And yeah, but see, his devil horn arm ends are the same way. It's gonna be really hard to put it on there. That might be what I put it on though, because my plan for his rig was gonna be to just load it up in LEDs and just have one big silly like LED covered nighttime rig. I'll probably find a way to put it on there. Very cool. Thank you, dude. Thank you. Very cool. Jason Crabtree says, I'd go in for some flywheel race wires with you. Would be cheap for you to mail. Jason, message me, tell me what you need, and I'll throw them on the order. And then all you'll owe me is like $3.50 for shipping. Daniel Giuliano says, how do you enter the giveaways? You either do PayPal or Super Chat. $5 to go on there once, $10 to go on there twice. Do it as quick as you can, because we're about to get rolling. Paul McDonald says, do you need any printed parts? Before I ship out this week? I'm actually good right now, Paul McDonald, which is kind of wild. Thank you, though. Thank you for the offer. YouTube said the thing. Denzel the Terrible says, if someone outside the U.S. wins on my ticket, I will pay shipping. It's not about the cost of ship. I mean, it is absurd to the shipping costs, but the problem is they just don't get there. They disappear. I don't know what the deal is with stamps.com, but the packages vanish for months and months and months, and then they show up back at my door, and then they want me to pay more money on top of the unbelievable amount that I've already paid. So, yeah, it's just I don't get it. I don't get it. Mutternerton says they are definitely 1103. I think he estimated 11,500 kV. Awesome. We got there. June Loco says, what's your Halloween costume this year? I don't know. Maggie and I can't figure out. We're going to do a couple's costume. We can't figure out what yet, though. Might be Mario and Luigi, actually. Morton Upshot says, I didn't hear. Did you get me for one? I think I have you on. Yep, I got you on there, Morton. Ruby Tim just did some flying. I wanted to try to wait for Whoever asked how to get in on the giveaway, I lost it already. Kevin Sumner says, ground up hookers. You can't get my... You do you. Gross. Well, you got to make it gross, yo. Daniel Giuliano asked how to enter the giveaways. Let me check my email one more time. If your entry comes in too late, Fat Pastor says I gave on PayPal. I think I have you up here. Let me see. Hold on. Let me kill this. Hey, there it is. Daniel Giuliano with a $10 super chat. He's going on the wheel 2 times. Fat Pastor, I forget what your human being name is, so I'm going to have to look that up. Hang on. Once I see it, I'll probably know it. Yep, I think I got you on there. David, that's it. David. Nah, hold on. You're not on there. What the hell happened? I thought it came... Did it not come through? Oh, I did not get the... They did not send me an email. Damn it. I hate when they do that. Daniel Maurer with a $5 PayPal. He's going on the wheel. Since they missed an email on me like this, I need to go over to my PayPal and... Well, no, I don't. Anybody else that PayPal'd me that hasn't seen me add them to the wheel, speak now or I'll put you on 2 Mondays from now's wheel. I'm just going to grab you and throw you on here twice, Fat Pastor. That way I don't have to go digging through PayPal's... the PayPal activity. Because anybody entering the giveaway is watching the stream right now. So, Fat Pastor, I got you. OMFPV says PayPal... Apparently PayPal has stopped sending me emails for your guys' things. OMFPV, how many times am I putting you on the wheel? Once or twice? I'm going to put you on once real quick. And then if you need me to put you on there a second time, let me know. Kiz Bartlett says, I think the question is, what did you think of Chris Pratt's Mario voice? When did Chris Pratt do a Mario voice? CMYKFPV says, what multi-protocol... Mine started having problems recently using a Mambo and OG QX7. I'm the worst person to ask that, CMYK. Chat would actually probably be better answering that question than me. Ohm says once, you're good to go. Everybody else good? I'm going to do the thing. Kiz Bartlett says the Mario movie came out on YouTube. Interesting. I didn't even know that. If you've PayPal'd me and I haven't said your name and added you to the wheel, speak now or die. Cold and alone. Moving this over. Hold on. Oh, okay. Fat Pastor, I got you. All right, so it did come through. All right, we're good. And here we go. Goat! Listen to the goat getting tired. Oh, you poor bastard. FPV is still up there. Danzel the Terrible. Nope, Ohm's gone. Fat Pastor's still there. He's gone. Edward Ashley's still there. Oh, Edward Ashley wins. Congratulations, brother. 2 questions for you. Do you or anybody you know have a QX7? And which antenna would you like? Helical, long SMA, medium length MMCX. And everything else you're getting whether you like it or not. Let me, but you need to send me your info, although I think you're on Patreon. I can probably grab it from Patreon, but do me a favor, shoot me a message. Well, definitely shoot me a message if you're not on Patreon. And give me your address, your email address for shipping, and... that's all I need. If you want the TweetFPV transmitter or TS100 grips, you're going to email tweetfpv@gmail.com, and he's going to hook you up. Thank you, brothers! Looking out for that message from... Wait a second. He didn't leave early, did he? There was that early ad. And I hope you're still in here, because I need to know what I'm sending and what I'm not sending. I'm gonna put this back here, and we're gonna get to work on. No, we're not, because there's only 5 minutes until midnight. Caveman says the goat is why I subbed. Whatever it takes, man. Whatever it takes. All right. I'm going to put these aside. And the last for your social. Yeah, exactly. Hey, look at this new... I got a new mat. What do you think? Do you hate it? Do you love it? Don't tell me if you hate it. I don't want to know. It's a silicone mat, and it's all the shit up on top here is magnetic, which is kind of cool, and it's got a bunch of little compartments. I already kind of dig it. I'm hoping that the neutral gray surface will help this camera to focus a little bit better, because my God, does it ever struggle. Ed Ashley! I think he had said, like, I'm going to sleep, but I want to get in. This is kind of why I don't usually do that, but I will message him somewhere. So this had the ESC that was kind of shit in the bed. I just said that I wasn't going to work on this, but I feel like I have to do at least a little something, because I did add it to the stream title. The previous ESC was not soft mounted, and I had these big, tall 5mm spacers on it. This is a Speedix GS25, an OG ESC that I'm putting in it, and it is drilled M3. So I took tiny whoop grommets and put those into the M3 holes to shrink them down to M2 holes, and that's how I like to mount stuff. But because of that, the grommets add a little bit of thickness, so there's no reason for these big, tall 5mm standoffs. So I'm going to switch these 5mm tall, not standoffs, spacers rather, over to these nylock nuts, M2 nylock nuts, which are 3mm tall, if you were ever wondering. And that should be just about perfect for the mounting height of this ESC. Jerk. All right. Get on there, you little jackass. There we go. All right, cool. So, here we go. And look, now I did something on the Rip Squeak, so the title of the live stream was not a lie. This is hands down the worst part about micro building, is dealing with these big, tall stack screws. Although, actually, everything about building micros is the worst part about building micros. It really is, like, so much harder than building a 5-inch rig. But if you can build a micro, you can build one hell of a 5-inch rig. It's kind of like swinging with a weighted bat. Remy Tim says a clean build mat is always nice. It really is. Paul McDonald says the picture does look clean on that mat. Abraham says that was me that entered early for Bob, not Ed. Not sure where Ed went. All right, cool. Thank you for clarifying, Aber. All right, so yeah, this driver unfortunately eventually runs out of depth, at which point we gotta do this the janky-ish kind of way and just grab it with a pair of needle nose pliers here and crank it down the rest of the way. Oh my God, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Stop being a dick. That's better. Oh my God. Come on. Okay, almost there. Almost there. So close. So very close. And come on, come on, come on, come on. All right. There it is. We did something to the Rip Squeak. Congratulations, us. It's midnight. Thanks for hanging out, friends. Kiz Bartlett says, every now and again I remind myself of the quad advert. You should keep saying, yes, yes. And that's what gets me through a tough day. What also could get you through a tough day?
諦めんなよ。諦めんなお前。どうしてそこでやめるんだ、そこで。もう少し頑張ってみろよ。ダメダメダメ、諦めたら。周りのことを思うよ。応援してる人たちのことを思ってみろって。あともうちょっとのところなんだから。俺だってこのマイナス10度のところ、しじみが取れるって頑張ってんだよ。絶対やってみろ。必ず目標達成できる。だからこそ、ネバギブアップ。
Clamman is always available to you on YouTube. Just search for Clamman. Love you guys. Be good. I'll see you Wednesday at 6 o'clock for Whoop Wednesday Madness. Here comes a little bit of flying. I'm going to play the same... well, no. I'll play a different battery from the same rig. This is that same rig from the beginning of the stream, but with the Emax Avan Rush 2.5-inch propellers. Much lower pitch. You'll notice a lack of power in this battery here, and yeah, be good, friends. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Here comes some music from Epidemic Sound. I'll see you Wednesday, hopefully. Later. Wait, where'd chat go? Chat, where'd you go? There's chat. Later, friends. Be good. Check out that Florida. What's happening? What?